how to get the north-south choke every time. It can be tricky, but with this, it's a lot easier. Have some fun with this one, guys. Hey guys, Coach Tom here. North-south chokes. I love them. Super cool guys, love them as well. Marcelo Garcia really popularized this choke a lot. Jeff Monson, a lot of people call this a Monson choke. Cool guy, great at this choke. The problem is with this one, as you guys have probably found, when you go for the north-south guillotine or the north-south choke or the Monson choke, whatever you like to call it, is once people learn to turn their chin into your ribs, it can be really hard to get the choke without it just turning into a neck crank or having to use your lats to really bully their jaw and stuff. It cannot sometimes not be the friendliest choke to do on the mats. However, I picked up a great tip from my coach Carlos Machado on this one, and I want to show it to you guys today because he hits this on everybody. And once I learned this choke, it really helped my game. But the problem was people were defending it all the time. So now that I know how to actually bait this, which is what I'm going to show you, now I get it like 90% of the time. So if I've got my partner here, Paul, facing up, the problem with a normal north-south choke is he has his hands down, I feed my arm through and I drop, and then traditionally we'd use our back to rotate him here, and then I can go for my finish. But the problem is if Paul just turns his body or even just his head in isolation into my ribs, it can be really hard to get. So what I do now is I consider my first north-south choke completely a draft. I consider it a draft. I never intend to finish my first one. I will if you let me, but I don't consider it to be my final offering. So I'm here with my partner, I'm controlling his hands, and I see his chin is up. So my left hand is gonna wrap around, and I'm gonna drop my left shoulder onto his chest, and then drop my chest flat to the floor to really help open up his neck. Now, if he did nothing and just stayed here, I would then rotate, hands together, and then I pretend like someone stepped on the back of my shoulder, okay? And I squeeze down. The problem is, he realizes that if he turns his chin into me, he defeats the choke. So as I start wrapping, and I've done this to my partner here before, I wrap and he turns his chin into me. So now it's not gonna choke him, okay? So when that happens to you guys, I wish I'd thought of this before someone had to tell it to me. Just change sides. If you change sides, he's just jumped out of the frying pan into the fire. So as I go to choke Paul here and he puts his chin into my ribs, I'm just gonna hover and grab on the other side. And now, if anything, if Paul is still facing this way and my north-south choke gets in, now it's a blood choke, not even just an air choke. Okay, so it's super tight. So if you guys like to go for these, even if I do it from this angle now, I go for my first one, but he turns his chin into my ribs. Switch and sink. And you'll find then he has to turn 180 degrees with his jaw. It's too much. So that's a great way, thank you Paul, that is a great way to get the north-south choke because people will go and turn. But if you then switch, it turns into a blood choke. And even if he does crank his head around 90 degrees, that's still a rock solid air choke and he's not defending anything, okay? So if you give this one a try, just get really savvy with the switch, just practice on a grappling dummy or a willing partner, you guys are gonna hit so many north-south chokes because not all of us are stocky and fast enough to just hit it first time every time. And some guys don't like to use their lat to push the guy's face up. It's too rough. So if you're one of those guys who doesn't like to do that thing, maybe you're slower, a bit more technical, well then, do the bait and switch. It works extremely well. Thanks for watching, guys. Have fun north-south choking, people. I'm Coach Tom. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching the video, guys. For more videos, click here. To subscribe to this channel to get all of our awesome videos, click here. And if you'd like to have our hour-long series for free on footlocks and how to defend footlocks and leg attacks of all kinds, please click here. I'm Coach Tom, guys. I'll see you next time.